Good morning all. This is Ramya Devi working as Assistant Professor in SNS College of Engineering. Today I am going to share a small topic regarding HTTP request message, which is in website basics and HTML. So what is HTTP? So HTTP is Hypertext Transport Protocol, and it is based on the request response communication model. Here the client sends a request and then the server sends a response back to the client. So HTTP is a stateless protocol. The protocol does not require the server to remember anything about the client between the request. So this is the HTTP browser server interaction. So the first, here we have in the source side the client application, and in the server side or the destination side the server application. So the client application can be a web browser, and then the server application can be a web server. So first, a HTTP request is sent to a network communication. A HTTP request is generated using a HTML, and then it is generated as a HTTP request and sent to via a network communication, and it can use either any of the internet protocols like TCP or UDP for delivering the messages from one network to the another network. And then in the underlying there is a hardware for handling all the communication which is taken place between the source and the destination, and then the IP handles the machine to machine transfer. And once our request has reaches the internet, so again it is transferring to the destination network through a hardware or again through an IP address, and again a TCP or UDP protocol comes into picture, which delivers the messages to a particular port or a particular application in the server. So and then through the network communication it is again sent to the server application, that is called the web server. So it is normally implemented over a TCP IP connection. 80 is a standard port number of HTTP. So this is the HTTP request message. So HTTP request message contains the overall structure, HTTP version, request URI, request method, and header fields and MIMI types. And the overall structure of the request contains the start line, and then the header field, and then the blank line or the message body, and which is the optional. So this is an example of an HTTP request. So the start line contains whether the HTTP request is a get method or a post method. So when it is a getting method, we are getting the information from the server. When it is a post method, we are posting our information to the server. So and then HTTP, and then the 1.1 is the version of the HTTP request. So there are three spaced parts. One is HTTP request method, request URI, HTTP version, and then the host contains the to which host or server address it is our data is going to be reached. And then the HTTP version version was referred as the HTTP 0.9 or 1.0 or 1.1. So the HTTP request URI, the concatenation of the string HTTP : the value of the host header field, and then the IP address or the domain address, and the HTTP URI forms a string known as uniform resource identifier, which is called as URI. So URIs are of two types. One is uniform resource name, and the other one is the uniform resource loader. So the uniform resource name can be used to identify the resources with unique names such as books, which have unique ISBNs, and then the scheme is URL. The uniform resource locator URL, which is properly known, specifies the location at which the resource can be found. In addition to the HTTP, some other URL schemes are HTTPS, FTP, mail to, and then the file. So the syntax for the HTTP request URI is HTTP : and then you have to give the URL or the URL. The scheme is called as, the protocol we are using is called as the HTTP. And these are some of the examples of the URL. And in like HTTP, we can use the other protocols like FTP, Telnet, mail to, HTTPS, and file. So FTP means we have to make an prefix as FTP : ftp.example.org, and this is used for locating the file in the FTP server. This is the Telnet server, which is used as the prefix as Telnet, and host.example.org, which is used as the Telnet server, and mail to is mail to which mailbox we are mailing to, and then the HTTPS for delivering the HTTP in a secured manner, or which is an encrypted communication basically. And then file is used for processing the file protocols, and then the file we have to give the exact location, and here the file can be accessible from machine processing this URL. Thank you.